Hi, welcome back to the Brummet Media channel. Great to have you here today. Ryan from Vancouver sent in this question. What challenges did you face as you wrote this book? So Ryan didn't specify which book he was referring to. So I'm going to generalize that question. What challenges did we face as we wrote our books? Okay, so in general, the greatest challenge was just being patient with the process. For me, incredibly frustrating. Every time there's a delay, we don't have time. We have to set a project aside because something else come up and that takes, precedence. Whenever that happens, I find that incredibly challenging to deal with, patience wise, frustration wise, because for me, I just want to see the project done. It's not like I'm impatient. I need the end product right now. For me, I just want to see forward movement on that project and to see something set aside and put on pause and sometimes it has to be put on pause for a long time because something else has come up that involves our energy and our time and our resources, or Dave has projects going on, and then in order to follow up on something, I need, he needs to come in and do something. So it can be really, really frustrating during those time periods for me. Other people might be very, very cool and calm about it. That's where I'm learning to be. I'm learning to be more patient within myself, um, and more calm about the process and more uh, less frustrated with things that are beyond my control. Um, I have to say, there are so many things that can happen and have happened in our career. We had a program that we were using on our computer, and all of a sudden, boom, it no longer worked. And all of a sudden, we had to download another one, and we had to learn that particular program, and then we could do the task, right? So we had to experiment, we had to do some trial and errors. Okay, now let's do the task that we had at hand. So that has happened more than once in various stages of our writing career, whether it's running the website or whether it's um, recording something or whatever it is, inevitably something's going to break down along the way, and that can be incredibly frustrating. Having your backup not work, or not having a backup for your information on your computer always on the go. Like, we have a separate mechanism that backs up our data on our computer. And so that if something happens to our computer, which has happened to us, the computer zaps out, and all of a sudden you're taking it to the computer specialist, praying that they can find a way to scrape the data off of your computer that's no longer working, and hopefully, rescue some of it because of all the valuable data. That has happened to us once and only once, because since then we back up everything. Everything's backed up and it's automatically backed up. So I don't even have to think about it. Every hour, every so many whatever's, it's backed up. Dave has it all set up. He's the technical guy. There's been times when the printer will break down just when I need it to print a flyer because we're on our way to something in it. So I learned to expect things to go wrong and to do things ahead of time. Like, if I'm going to print something for an event, or I'm going to, say that's my example, I'm going to try to do that a couple of days before the event at least, and have it all ready for the event. Everything I need, every scrap of paper, every display, every item, everything is ready and set aside for that project to just pick up and go, because I don't like leaving things last minute, because inevitably, if I leave something to last minute, something's going to break down. And then I got to throw in my contingency plan. Who can print this in town for me right now, right this second? Hopefully they're open, right? So these kinds of things can actually happen, and they're inevitable. They're gonna happen. And so, try to have your contingency plan. Try to be okay with things going wrong and things not being perfect all the time, and be patient with the process. So those, I think, are the biggest challenges as a writer, or even as a self-employed person. Being self-employed as an entrepreneur, just being patient with the process is something else. I'm sure you all have gone through it as well. I'd love to hear your feedback on this as well. Like, how have you dealt with these types of challenges, and maybe some of your stories? I would love to hear that. Thanks again, everyone, for dropping by the Brummet Media channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. You know what to do.